Welcome to the Horror Hangout podcast where film fans watch the best and worst horror movies of all time and talk about them. My name is Ben Errington, and today I'm joined by regular co-host Mr.
Andy Conduit Turner. How you doing, Ben? It's lovely to be back.
I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're back. I've missed you ever so, as I'm sure all the listeners have as well. And today we're joined by a very special, that's right, special, Sam, returning guest. Sam Munster is a horror-obsessed, neurodivergent chaos goblin, physical media collector and special features enthusiast, plus a podcaster with the show Horror Hyperfixations. Oh, I got that all out without making a mistake. Welcome back to the show, Sam. Hello.
Hello. Thank you for having me on.
Having you on. You're very welcome.
Having me on.
We've been having you on this whole
yes.
time. Yeah, welcome
I
back.
feel like Ben's made this a competitive sport by producing a league table recently.
Honestly, I'm like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
need to get higher up on that league table. Like, Charlie is cheating.
She is cheating.
That's nepotism. That is.
That's a bloody nepo, baby.
Nepo podding.
Yeah. To be fair, main reason for that, because she used to come to Forbidden Worlds Film Festival with me every year, and then we always do a film about that in October. And she's
and you
my
could also
wife
say
and I love her.
main reason for that. I like her. She lives in the same house as me.
Yeah.
I know her schedule really well.
Yeah. You busy tonight? Yeah, I am actually. No, you're not. Get on
Podcasting with
pod.
me.
Who is he? What's his name? The second she's busy.
I mean, I didn't want to do a league table to add a competitive nature to it.
Well,
but
you've done it now.
it seemed to bring that out in a lot of people reacting to it, you know. I think Aaron Truss got to me right away because he's on 9 and he's like, well, we'll make it 10. We'll make it 10 this month. Don't worry about it, wink. Absolutely insane. It was
This is
supposed to
only
just be
2,
like,
So I got catching up to do. Need to bully you on to learn me on more.
that's fine. We're happy to be bullied. And we're very, I feel like also we just never say no, do we, Andy? So I feel like anyone out there, no matter who you are, get me on the podcast. We'd be like, yeah, all right.
Don't
Caveats
say
to
that
that.
because then it'll take me longer to get to 10.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you have more than $1 billion in your bank account, get to fuck, you're never coming on.
Unless,
you give us so much of your money
Yeah.
that you have less than $1 billion, then
Yeah.
you can come on.
And we'll just distribute it amongst people we like rather than us becoming billionaires as well.
Yeah, I'll solve all
Can
the
I please
world's
have a
problems.
Fabergé egg?
You can have a Fabergé
Yes, you
egg, of
may.
course you can. But be careful with it, for God's sake. Ever so delicate. Where would you put the Fabergé egg in your lovely background, in your lovely living room?
Probably like on the record player. I think it's still by there. I've got a fake one that my mum bought me. And not only was it a fake, because whenever she goes anywhere or asks me for my birthday, she's like, do you need anything? And I'm like, get me a Fabergé egg or a Cornetto, but she doesn't understand that reference. So Fabergé egg. And then the one time she was like, I got you something, and gave me this little box, and I opened it and there was a fake Fabergé egg in there. And I was so excited. And then I opened the Fabergé egg, and inside it was a tiny necklace that matched the Fabergé egg that I could wear around my neck.
Oh, that's
It
lovely.
was one of the best things that's ever happened to me.
What makes a Fabergé egg fake? Just not made of the same material?
Just not made by Fabergé. It was like a
Not made by
fiver in
Fabergé.
I feel like
some
just
crappy shop.
I'm happy with fake stuff, aren't you? I think stick your Fabergé egg. Give me a fake one. No?
I don't know why I am obsessed with Fabergé eggs. It's something that I've just focused on my entire life. I don't want a real one. I break it, but I just like saying Fabergé egg. It's a very
It is
very
fun to
pleasant
say.
phrase
It is
to
fun
say.
to say. I think I'd break it while opening it. I'd just be too excited.
While getting it out of its packet.
Yeah.
There's something about Fabergé eggs. I think it's the DNA of the word and the illusions of high society that it carries. It always reminds me of Ferrero Rocher.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And a
That advert.
Viennetta. Do you remember
Yeah.
how posh a Viennetta used to be? It'd be like, oh,
Viennetta.
Viennetta. Oh,
You get a Viennetta for £2 now. All different
£1 if you
flavours.
got a co-op card, Ben.
well.
Wow. I'm still waiting for them to make a vegan Viennetta.
Oh, pull your finger out, for God's sake. Seeing Ferrero
Walls.
Rocher in that little pyramid was with like being served
The
by a
ambassador's
butler.
reception.
Yeah.
What does it make you want to
Wait,
say if you see
was
those
being
things? It's something like,
spoiled?
yeah, excelente.
Is that what he says?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The man eats one, and the lady goes, "Oh, ambassador, these chocolates, you're really spoiling us." And a man, of I don't know of what descent because I don't speak all the languages in the world. Ben, I'm not Cypher from the New Mutants. He eats one and he goes, "Excelente."
Oh, what's your method of eating a Ferrero Rocher? In half and then get your tongue inside?
No, just
Or
take a really
straight in?
big breath in like a Kirby.
Name your sex tape.
Straight in one,
Yeah,
and then swallow it down in one as well. Don't even enjoy it.
don't even unwrap it. I unwrap it and like spit the wrapper out like
My
a
headphones
snake.
fell off because I laughed so hard. Hello.
That may be a
I'm
first.
trying so hard not to just be so incredibly rude at all those things you just said.
Be as rude as you want. I feel like the temperature at the moment is got me in a certain mood, not in an inappropriate mood, but
No.
in a playful.
Is that because you
Just
can
feeling
see Andy's
rude.
face? You got all excited. Now he's back.
It's because I can see Andy's face. Yeah, did an in-person podcast last week though, which was
You did.
pretty
It was
exciting.
lovely.
Very
I listened
exciting.
to it. I
That was
listened
a
to it
very
after
good
some session.
episode.
Thank you very much.
And I was going to say about that, thank you for addressing the fact that that film is problematic as fuck in its themes. And it was very nice. I have listened to quite a few podcasts and interviews and things, and nobody has brought it up. And not only are you the first person who's brought it up, but you are, not to reduce you to this, but you are a man who brought it up. So that is very much appreciated. Thank you.
I don't want to take all the credit because I did have some thoughts on this, but my wife Charlie, who Sam, obviously you're very we're very friendly with these days.
He's
which
my
is
wife
lovely.
now, Dave.
He's your wife
Yeah.
now, Dave. Which is lovely. I like that. Not jealous at all. But she kind of like said a few of it. She said, you better say this and this. And even though I definitely was going to say all that, she definitely helped me flesh out some of those ideas anyway, as well.
Mhm.
And the one of our most, I've seen this particular thing that we discussed around a few times on horror TikTok and various other things, talking about Jafar in Aladdin being basically a horrible misogynist wish man, and basically that's what's happened. I wish
He
for
was
Jasmine.
terrible, but
Yeah.
you got look at
Sexy
her in
beard.
that outfit. I mean, the red outfit. Not to sexualize a kid's TV character, but she was fit in that outfit.
Yeah, he's done it.
And the genie
Well
didn't
done,
make her
Jafar.
love him. They just, she was just hanging out with Jafar.
I'll
And
tell you
bearing
what-
in mind, his enemy, Jafar's enemy, he is a working man working for, the poor hard done to Sultan. Do you think the Sultan, we didn't know about all the poverty and about Aladdin and his family growing up in there when he was in charge? That all happened on his watch. Justice for Jafar. He wasn't given the chance to see he could have run a really egalitarian Agrabah.
I'll tell you what was also kind of sexy as well. Red Genie Jafar. Remember when he turns into a genie?
Oh yeah,
He's
and he's like,
hench.
"Whoa, he's so jacked."
an all-powerful genie.
But like most male Disney villains, is Jafar just not absolutely a big gay?
I'm definitely.
There's no way that
Yeah.
that guy is straight. So I
No.
don't know what that whole prisoner
I feel like he's in love
Jasmine
with
thing is
Aladdin.
about. I was in love with Aladdin as a child. He's very attractive.
Yeah.
Swashbuckling chap. I've not seen the live action one, but allegedly Jafar in that also very handsome.
Oh.
Mm.
Well, Will Smith
Live
is a
action
genius.
Jafar is apparently fit as fuck.
Well, thanks for your kind words about the Obsession episode. It was very fun to have Lean on and chat about it. What did you both think of Obsession?
You go ahead, Sam.
Well, I think it was a fantastic film. I just wish there'd been more talk in the film community, the horror community, societally, about the fact that the entire film is an allegory for SA, and it doesn't seem to warrant a warning on the BBFC card or anyone just sort of giving a heads up. And I've been quite emotionally and mentally fragile recently, and I've been really upset about the fact that everyone's like, "Hey, go watch this film, it's fantastic," and no one's gone, "Hey, go watch this film, it's fantastic." But just a heads up, there's some really, and not to use the word triggering because I feel like that is very like reductive, but there's some incredibly triggering things in it, and I know a lot of people have been incredibly upset by those things because they didn't have adequate warning before they went into the cinema. And I don't know if you guys have seen, I posted a video of me and my best friend crying for like 15 minutes about how affected we were by it. And we both think it was a beautifully made film and the acting was incredible, but neither of us were expected to be confronted with those themes, not just as a plot point, but the entire film.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. Obviously, I'm trying not to say specific words because we don't want to upset anybody listening. But yeah, it's a tricky one. I think it's a fantastic film, but I feel like as a society we need to get a little bit better with content warnings and sharing things so that people know before they go in. It's not a spoiler to say this film has themes of SA, because if you've seen the trailer, you've probably got an idea that that could be the case. So yeah, it's a weird one, and I do want to see it again, but when I can watch it at home and
You
I'm
can
in
pace it
comfy
out a little bit more.
surroundings, and yeah, and sorry, go on.
No, you go on. Finish that point, Sam. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, I watch plenty of films with incredibly problematic scenes and things. Like Irreversible is one of my favorite films ever, ever, ever. But I knew about that before I went into it, and it is a plot point. It's not the entire film. And other stuff like knowing that is it Monica Bellucci? Yes, Monica Bellucci directed that scene. She was completely in control of it. Things like that make it easier to watch.
Also, if you were going to recommend Irreversible to somebody, you would very likely tell them, like you would give them a.
Yeah, I'd be like, there is a 6-minute, very graphic, very upsetting, horrible scene. There's no way I'd recommend it to people without saying that, and that's sort of the headspace I'm in. I think it's the autistic sense of like justice and fairness, and I'm really mad that nobody, even the BBFC, nobody thought to warn us. And
there needs to be like just
it's incredibly upsetting.
A little footnote. Even a little footnote probably is a bit reductive. But if you're going to tell me that there's a film with scenes of violence and gore in an 18 rated film, like I'm expecting that anyway. But just a little extra where also give us maybe a little bit more context of other things without. Oh no, it's not a spoiler, is it? It's just these are the themes that are going to be explored. Here's a fair warning.
You see, those are the things, Ben. I think we've had the discussion about content warnings, particularly around festivals in the past as well. And I think there's genuinely been some, I think, really strong debate on that point. And I think we've seen a lot of disappointment about how some festivals have dealt with content warnings in the past. And some of it is because of their capacity to do those things. I think there were certain messages I know that caused a bit of backlash. Fright Fest a couple of years ago,
last year,
there was a lot. Was it only last year? I'm fast forwarding through time. When it was, hey, all the films are 18, be prepared for anything. And I think rightly so. There were some comments. That's not really good enough. And I think the comparison with trigger warnings, again, not to use a reductive term, but it's a common phrase that people can understand. When you're giving people the content warnings of things, the argument that, oh, well, these contain spoilers, is that, do they really? And and also the internet is full of spoilers anyway, actively. And I think they were almost the call for stronger and more detailed content warnings was met with more opposition and because of spoilers than actual people posting spoilers does. Like between the roles of technology and how people can search things out, I don't think it is difficult to avoid being spoiled by content warning if that truly is what you are worried about. And I think the good it can do that allowing someone who would be very upset by the content in the film to be able to look into a list of things that could be upsetting to them, and that could be anything as serious as like extreme violence or gore, sort of essay themes, to something that could be triggering for someone on a very personal reason, like substance abuse, like even cruelty towards animals. I know personally, I find
Mm.
scenes like that in a film, there is a reason why, despite the fact it's placed in horror history, I've never watched Cannibal Holocaust. I know that there are scenes of actual animal violence in there, so therefore I avoid them. Like I don't think it's difficult for us to do this in the information age that we live in now. In a world where you
Mhm.
can pause Amazon Prime and see the 10 other things that the actor currently on screen is in.
Order this drink that they're drinking.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny, there's infinite applications of technology to make things bullshit and commercial.
But the thing is, we also like if people are really that bothered about it, like give people the option to. I mean, I know in a cinema situation it's not the same, but if people really are that bothered about that, you can opt out. But I guess for a high percentage of people, being able to opt in is going to be important,
Yeah.
not just for
Mhm.
themselves, but
Well, the way
also. Go on, Sam.
sorry. The way I see it, it could be very easy for, as part of the editing and marketing for the film, to be like, hey, here is, like, I've made a list of the 10 things I think that should be flagged up. And if it contains one of those, put it on the film website, put it on the cinema website. It can be in a little collapsible thing if you want it to, that
Mhm.
you can click on it and just say, what are the content warnings for this? Because when I was having the conversation about obsession with people, it was brought up that actually it does say that there's SA on the BBFC website. But imagine having the worst thing in the world that's ever happened to you, and then having, anytime you go to the cinema, to have to check first, does
Mm.
this film contain the worst thing that's ever happened to me? Like, that
Mm.
is terrible. And as far as I'm concerned, the BBFC card is your last chance at the beginning of the film to go, oh shit, this might be a bit too much for me, and you can run
Yeah.
away. But if it's not fully comprehensive, then you can't do that. And I'm not for censoring people. I think that within reason, anything in films is fair game. It's art, it's not real. But I think people need to be informed before they go into that. So saying about festivals, obviously a lot of those films aren't on the BBFC website because they're
Not
not
on
they're
release
not
yet, yeah.
rated. So I'm currently helping the lads at Rilla Thriller with their selection for this year's festival. And one of the
Mm.
first things I said was, can I compile content warnings as we go along? And they said, yeah, fantastic. We just haven't had the capacities to do that. That would be brilliant. Thank you very much. So as
Yeah.
I'm watching the films, I've got my little list of 10 things
Mm.
and I'm just making notes. And they are pretty vague. And the terminology I've picked out, there could be several things that happen under that little umbrella. But then that's giving people a spoiler free example of something that's in there. And if they need to dig deeper to find out, they can. So that's something that Rilla Thriller are going to be doing this year, is putting content warnings on. And I'm just so pleased, as, again, not to reduce people to anything, but as a woman working on a festival with two men, for them to be like, yeah, absolutely, that's fantastic. Please do that. Great. Love that. So
That's great. And
hopefully
it's
that'll be
about,
something
yeah, it's
that
about investing that
happens
effort
more.
as well, isn't it? I get it. It's so hard when you're putting these things together with a limited, sometimes like a skeleton crew. But if you can do something that impacts for even a percentage of people that are coming, and you'll continue to learn. You have your list of 10 things, Sam. Maybe if you go through all those 10, maybe the feedback you get from the festival is, oh, that was really helpful, but actually, this is item number 11 that I
Mm-hmm.
find, particularly challenging. Could you consider this for next time you do it? Like, we're
Mm-hmm.
all here to evolve processes and see what we can do so everyone can enjoy films. I have nothing quite so poignant to say about Obsession
Sorry,
then,
it
other
took us
than that
off on
I
quite the tangent
no,
then.
that's really good. And I think it's important stuff. I agreed with lots of things that you said in the episode. I enjoyed it after I'd watched the film. Incredibly made film. Curry Barker, I think, has a very successful career ahead of him. Um, Talk of there being other things that you could do with the concept. I think, yep, lots you could do with that, incredibly well made, incredibly like visceral, shocking. There is a particular scene, we won't spoil it here. We're not under a spoiler warning for Obsession right now, but there
Beautiful.
is a scene towards the end game which is proper mouth open shock, a great piece of, a cinema moment, I think, that really elevated the film. But like Sam said, I think it was really important that the two of you had those conversations about the deeper meanings of the film that perhaps at a surface level do go overwards. I heard former guest Stacey on Threads talking about how she'd had to turn off a podcast that she was listening to discussing Obsession, because there was a lot of like, oh, I felt bad for Bear and these things that begin with, like, I think that is a really interesting character study there, in that on the face of it, and I think you highlighted it as we talked about in the show, Ben, that there is a moment where his reaction to this thing, because obviously when you are taking the act of making a wish or things like that, then you have no concept for it because you don't expect wishes to come true. That is just something a frustrated person is saying. They don't expect anything to happen from it. How he then goes on to react when it becomes increasingly evident that something has happened, that is when you lose sympathy for the character, because that is when he shows you what his true colors are. And we've seen like the whole One Wish Willow thing, um, is echoing back to things like the monkey's paw, these wishes that don't quite go to plan. And in literature, and when you read the monkey's paw, those are people who make careless and impossible wishes and face the consequences and come to regret what their desires are. There is a different telling of this story very deliberately, where you can keep that character
Mm.
more sympathetic and more, the the victim as well as everyone else is in that film. But the writing and the direction shows that that is not the intention. We are, in my opinion, at very least, meant to lose sympathy for him as he reacts to the situation that becomes increasingly apparent to him. Yeah, really, really good. To end on a lighter note, my only disappointment prop wise is I feel like, from a product and marketing perspective, One Wish Willow should be a chocolate bar.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Can you imagine if you marketed it as like maybe like
Like a Kit Kat.
well,
It'd be
quite a
like a
firm
Spira. Do you remember Spiras from the
Yeah,
olden
yeah,
days?
yeah.
Spira, or
It would
even
be like a
rarer, a Cadbury
Spira.
Secret, like a little, like maybe a little biscuit in the middle, and
Oh
then if you
yeah.
can if you can eat the chocolate off it, like a hard woven, like a tempered chocolate on the outside, maybe by design. Machines can do anything now, Ben. A little air pocket in the middle
You could
where
3D
your
print
where your
chocolate.
biscuit is. Yeah, if you could eat all the chocolate off without breaking the thing,
Oh,
without breaking the biscuit in the middle, then you could snap it and get your wish.
I like it.
Give me a One Wish Willow chocolate bar.
Yummy.
Wonka, you've got my number. Get on.
Come on, Wonka,
Let's
sort it
strike
out,
up a
for
deal
fuck's
here.
sake. Okay, so a little bit of horror news. Moving on from our thoughts on Obsession, we've got a trailer for Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma. A whole new kind of horror remake. Jane Schoenbrunn, I always say, but it's not spelled Schoenbrunn, is it? Is back.
Schonenberg? I'm not sure.
Schoenbrunn, obviously the director of I Saw the TV Glow, brings in Hannah Einbinder and Gillian Anderson. Oh yes, for the new film, new slasher movie. It's in theaters August the 7th. Has anybody seen the trailer?
I've not watched it
No,
yet,
I
but
don't
I'm
do
already in.
trailers.
I
Yeah,
I,
I'm so
I
sold.
felt like this was going to be a trailer which was going to be all right to watch. When it's not like a big. Well, it is a big film. It's not a big studio, I guess, pushing it. So I thought I can watch a bit of this, and it looks pretty batshit crazy, I would say. Pretty batshit crazy. As much as it looks like it's got a much bigger budget than I Saw the TV Glow, which isn't surprising. But yeah, really interesting. Takes place at a camp. There's like a final girl. There's talk of there's like I think again I don't want to ruin anything, but I was just about to say there's a very iconic looking killer, let's say, with a very interesting looking mask and unique weapon. But there's loads of mad stuff happening in it. There's loads of blood, desire, fear, delirium, it says, and it's rated R as well, so which means there's going to be lots of stuff. There we go. There's a trigger warning for you: bloody violence, gore, sexual content, graphic nudity, drug use, and some language, maybe English. There we go. It looks good though. I like the look of it, and I'm
Well,
loving Gillian
sorry,
Anderson's.
go on.
Sorry. I did sound like I was finished. My bad. Gillian Anderson as well. I am very I love this kind of new era of her career as well. Go on. What are you going to say, Sam?
Oh, me too. Gillian Anderson is the best she has ever been in her entire life, and I love that for her. No, a film programmer friend saw very long film name today and said it was wonderful, and hopefully I'm going to be able to see it in a couple of weeks before it is released. So fingers crossed.
Very nice. Yeah, very exciting. Film with very long name does look great, I would say, from the trailer.
I can never remember all the words.
Yeah,
I just
know what you mean.
remember
Oh my God,
Camp Miasma.
The first thing I did, I'm not gonna. This was me being an absolute moron. I put like the first few words of this film into Google because I just thought it'll come up real quick, you know. And poor old innocent me, I'm not innocent. I had a warning saying you what? So
Listen, like a little clippy came and like nudged you, say, "Oh Ben, you want to turn safe search off, mate? You get a lot more if you do this."
You want to lock the front door? Jesus.
You could just use you could just initialize it, Ben. So you could call it Tsadicum.
Catchy.
Tsadicum. Tsadicum. Too sad to come. Okay. Well.
Same.
We've all been there.
Babe, what's wrong? I'm just too sad. I'm so sorry.
I'm just too sad. I can't stop thinking about that sad. I can't stop thinking about that beaver that Andy saw. Oh God, that
wasn't sad, mate. That was a joyous moment.
What beaver did you see,
Andy? Ironic. Sorry about that. Let's move swiftly on. It wasn't a sad moment, but sometimes you just cry when something's so nice, don't you?
Oh, like the double rainbow guy, all the way across the sky.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw a fire bow on holiday, like a full circular rainbow that it is insane.
Fire bow? I've never heard of that. Two.
I'd never heard of it. There's one that's like a weird shape one, and then there was one that was like a full circle, and they were amazing. Sorry, continue. I just had to tell you my fact.
No, I liked it. What else we got? Maniac Cop remake / reimagining. Nicholas Winding Refn
back.
Back. Fresh take on the 1980s slasher horror movie. It's official. This one's being released by Mubi as well. And yeah, this is a new take on the 1988 slasher. It's fully bankrolling Maniac Cop, and obviously big time director attached to it as well. I think the trailer for his new film Her Private Hell is out now as well, which looks more Neon Demon, I would say, than anything else.
Okay.
Look, Neon Demon meets what was the one where Ryan Gosling was in Hong Kong doing kung fu? What was that one?
Bullet Train?
No. It looks good. But yeah, there's nothing else really in terms of whether it's going to be like if it's a reimagining, what kind of thing are we going to get? Is it going to be sort of like a B movie, which I guess Maniac Cop was? Yeah. Are you a fan of original Maniac Cop, Sam?
I am, but I didn't know there was going to be a remake. But it's not going to have my handsome grandpa Tom, and his second name has just fallen out of my brain. Atkins,
Tom Atkins.
I love him. He's delightful, and if he's not in that film, I don't want it.
Isn't he like in his 90s now?
He's 85, I think.
Sorry for aging you.
I met him a couple of years ago. He is delightful, and he's still so fucking handsome as well.
Tom Atkins, Bruce Campbell in the first one as well.
Bruce Campbell in the first one, yeah.
Oh yeah, I watched it again recently actually, and I was like, I do not remember him being in it.
How many sequels are there? Maniac Cop.
There's 3 Maniac Cops in total.
3 Maniac Cops. Yeah. Only God Forgives was the movie I was thinking of with Ryan Gosling doing like fighting people in Hong Kong, a neon-soaked Hong Kong. It's good. It's a good film. Very weird. But yeah, if that's the vibe they're going for with this as well, I'd be happy with that. But
I'd be
let's just
interested to
get
see what they do
schlocky.
with a maniac cop in like the era of ACAB and defunding police protests and so on. Do they lean into that sort of political discourse, or is it like real pro police? Because it's like the whole thing, like of Maniac Cop, is eroding the trust in the police. You know, because it's Matt Cardle has been framed and done in, and now
He's
he's
been
off just
framed.
killing people that are unconnected to him being
Yeah,
done in. He's a bit confused, but he does eventually work out an arc, as far as I
yeah,
recall.
yeah.
You said there was Mubi, right? I would have imagined that if Mubi picked it up, it's going to
Yeah.
be more like left leaning politically than anything else.
Movie
But it'd be
was
interesting to see with like body cams and AI and all the weird stuff that guess what's the implemented? No, that's not the word. But part of like crime prevention and stuff now. Like listening to you guys, I keep getting adverts for some weird AI security system. The adverts I get for you guys are AI security systems and sexual dysfunction, and I'm like,
yeah,
hello,
adds
what
up.
is happening? But yeah, I keep getting an advert for for a security thing that will recognize people's faces, and it's like this person visits a lot, they're safe, and then this person we don't recognize this person, we need to like alert. So it's constantly monitoring the faces and stuff, and
We're always slating
I can
AI on the
imagine that
show.
creepiness.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can imagine that creepiness being part of like the law enforcement
yeah.
story. Probably
Yeah,
would
like
be
this,
really
like
interesting.
surveillance and profiling, and I don't know, I guess I'm assuming here massively that it's contemporary. It's not also just it's the past.
That was
Dude,
far more succinct than what I tried to say.
you could do you could proper Predator franchise this, and you could have Maniac Cops through the ages. You could have Bobby on the Beats, the Peelers, coming
Healers.
round and yeah, coming around and getting you, or Modern Police,
Modern
somewhere
police,
in
Hue
yeah.
and
between.
Cry. That was one of the other old ones, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm
Interesting.
into it. I'll be checking
Mm.
this out. I love a little visit to Mubi once in a while.
Yeah, absolutely. And the last bit of news I got is about a new film called Five Must Die, which is being billed as Ghostbusters meets Ready or Not in a supernatural thriller. I thought it sounds pretty interesting. Director and co-writer Ryan Kelly has unleashed the occult thriller, a high concept supernatural thriller, fusing the tension of Ready or Not with the meta horror energy of The Cabin in the Woods, with the conspiracy edge of Men in Black and the supernatural flair of Ghostbusters. Those are all things I
It's too many
like.
films.
There's too many films with.
Or one more, so it's five influences, please.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, never think of that.
Um,
This sounds interesting,
Unfortunately,
though, right?
Ben, I've got it is interesting. Let's give it the credit that it's due.
Yep.
Interesting, yes. A new IP, yes. Fresh ideas, inspired by the things you love every day of the week. Sign me up. Now, a stupid aside, I'm not really paying attention to that because immediately the second you said it was Five Must Die, my brain conjured a kind of Enid Blyton,
Enid Blyton.
famous five, 19 sort of, sort of the posh, you know, posh little sort of upper middle class kids who've never had a problem in their life, and it's the 50s, going, "Oh, I say, Rupert,"
I
and
thought you were
then
gonna say
dying, and
five.
now that's all I want.
I thought you were gonna say five. The pop group must die. Five. The
Don't
pop
you
group are
dare.
they're performing at
You leave
Butlins.
Johnny Abs alone,
They're
Joey
performing at
Abs.
Butlins when they accidentally do a séance and bring the spirit of who's dead who could kill them. I don't know. There's only four of them anyway, isn't there?
Who's Five's enemy? And then, can you imagine the extended Five Must Die cinematic universe? S Club come in and help them at the end.
Ah.
Don't give me these most wonderful things that I need to exist that will never exist. Don't do that to me.
How many of S Club are left? Like three.
I think like 6. I think didn't Paul die?
Yeah, Paul
Yeah,
has
Paul
passed
died,
away.
but I
We
think
did lose him.
a few of them stepped away as well. So a few of them stepped away. Joe went on Big Brother and was a massive racist. Didn't seem to get
Oh
cancelled for
no.
it though. They just went, oh bloody hell. Oh,
Jade
bloody
Goody
hell.
took the bullet for that one,
It's
didn't
because
she?
Joe, she's got the flow, so they just let her do whatever.
That's the
Yeah.
reason. Stand up in court and say, sorry, I plead not guilty because I've got the flow. And they go, can't argue
When
with
they
that.
came back for like a children in need special,
Mm.
who appears to really, only looking at them visually, who seems to have really got it together and just seemed like she was just living her best life? Tina.
Tina. Tina
And
has
I'm so
gone.
glad for her.
Tina's gone solo, and her music is mad,
Is it?
mad. Yeah, it's almost like it seems like it's a parody, but then I'm like, is it though? It can't be, surely. It's just a bit weird and lo-fi, and I don't know. In her music, at least, she hasn't got the flow, and I know her name's not Joe, but
Well, Tina
Tina.
was doing her thing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
Tina was doing her thing.
Tina's. That's what she's doing.
She
She's
is
doing her
doing her
thing.
thing.
She's
She's
doing her thing.
continued to do her
Hannah
thing.
was my favorite. Tana was my favorite. Was that her
Hannah
name, the little
Spirit.
blonde one?
The Spirit, of course,
Yes.
went on to star in
All
ITV's answer to
sorts.
Doctor Who,
Oh yeah, she
Primeval,
did.
with your friend and
Yes.
mine, Andrew Lee Potts.
And then she was stalked by Mandy in This Country. No? Anyone remember? No? Do you remember
No.
that? Mandy in This
I
Country.
still haven't watched that show.
Oh, it's good.
It's
So
so
good.
good.
Mandy
It's so
Mandy
good.
gets done for like she's like, oh yeah, I used to stalk someone. I've actually got a restraining order from a famous person, and it turns out to be Hannah Spirit from CS Club
Yeah.
7. It's so weird.
Have you gone off compare the meerkats?
From a smoke-free home and a pet-free home. Looks good anyway.
So good.
Last thing I'll mention, there's a couple of new interviews this week on the feed. We have got one with you, Andy. You've spoken to the directors of Loner, Charlie Robb and Douglas Torn. Loner is streaming on Found TV right now, and our interview is up. Go and check that out. They were nice, weren't they?
They are very nice. And we commit live on air, Ben, that they're going to come and join us for an episode sometime.
It always
So
happens.
look forward to that soon.
I feel like I do the very same with the director and writer of Monkey's Magic Merry-Go-Round, Aidan Leary and C.R. Thompson, on my bonus episode interview, also on the feed. We have a little bit of a love in about Halloween at the start of the episode, and I think they've committed to coming on to talk about Halloween 4. We got to do 2 first.
Oh, we have to do 2. I mean, it does have the
Do
best comedy
Halloween
moment.
3.
We've done Halloween 3.
Do it
Sorry about
again. I haven't listened to that episode yet.
Do it again. Eventually, we are going to have to start horror all over again, aren't we, Andy?
Yeah, back to the beginning.
Completed
Back
it,
to
mate.
Completed it, mate. So yeah, those interviews are up now. Go and check them out. What we've been watching, anything anyone's seen in the last 7 days or so. Longer for you, Sam, of course. Haven't been on the show for a little while now. Anything you've seen, horror or horror adjacent, that you wanted to recommend at all?
Who's going first?
You can go first, Sam.
you as the guest.
As the guest, always.
Oh, thanks. I've made a list because I knew I'd forget.
Oh, good.
I haven't gone all the way back since I was on last. I've just done the last couple of weeks. So I rewatched The Devil's Candy because the second sight release is out, and what a fucking beautiful film that is. And the second sight release is lush. It is so good. So I think I watched that twice in the last couple of weeks because it is a fantastic film, and I think it's massively, massively underrated. I watched Slither for the first time because of the 20th anniversary.
Yeah,
that was great.
Lovely 4K release, right?
Yeah, beautiful. So that was nice getting to see it for the first time, seeing it in 4K and shiny, restored, and lovely. I had the immense privilege and pleasure of watching 2 of my favorite films whilst in the same room as Guillermo del Toro. I watched Crimson Peak and The Shape of Water. He was at the BFI in London, and I managed to get tickets for Crimson Peak and The Shape of Water. And he did a Q&A and an introduction, and being in the same room as that man was magical. He is the most wonderful, intelligent, wholesome man on this earth. And I would die for him. He is just magical. So getting to see those films with him there and answering questions from people was just fantastic. And then I caught up on a bunch of films that from last year that I just missed. The Long Walk, Companion, the new Conjuring, and Presence. They were all fine. They were
Presents.
okay. Nothing exciting about any of them.
I think of all of those, Companion probably had the longest effect on me. Or actually, The Long Walk as well, maybe. But then I did read the book around about the same time. Companion was good. I went into Companion somehow. Don't ask me how, Sam. Not knowing what it was about, really. I don't know if you knew that.
I saw a snippet of the trailer and I was like, that's what that film's about. And even the title just told me straight away what it was.
I feel like I might be brain dead. I went into it going, what's this going to be about? A lovely couple? Oh, I wonder what the twist could be. Yeah.
Who's this companion we're talking about? Maybe
Someone,
it's a
someone
ghost.
just went,
No.
did you not notice on the poster that she had white eyes? And I just went like, don't know.
Thought she was
I
possessed.
thought it was obvious. And then when people were surprised, I was like, oh, okay. I
You
thought we
said,
all
are
knew
you an
that.
idiot? And I will say yes.
Mm-hmm.
Did
then,
you? Sorry, go on.
I was gonna say 2 other films. I've been helping my friend with like editing and notes and stuff, which has been a really fun
Oh, wow.
process on films. My friend Tom Hughes from Ritual Video, been helping with editing on his 2. He's got 2 features coming out this summer because he's insane.
Oh, wow.
Wishing Well Road, which is a found footage movie, and then Weed Killer is a shot on video, micro budget, 80s trauma inspired, beautiful piece. Ben, you will love it. I know you will.
2 tickets, please.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's being released on video as well. I'm in it. None of the bias comes from the fact that I'm in it, but it's going to get released, I think, sometime in the summer on VHS. So I'm going to be able to own a VHS.
Yeah, with you on it.
Me in it. That's going to be the most exciting thing ever. So I think there might be like some release info and stuff coming out over the next couple of weeks. But they're both so fucking good. So
Make
good.
sure it gets to a Sam. We will share that far and wide.
Yeah.
I will. Absolutely. You should have him on, actually. It'd be really interesting to talk about how he's made Weed Killer, because shooting on video in this day and age, in this economy, and it looks like, and I say this in the nicest possible way, it looks like a shitty old VHS movie from the 80s that you forgot to return to Blockbuster and you found her in the back of a cupboard and you put it on and you're like, this is grainy and neon and beautiful. And that's what it is. It's fucking great.
Amazing.
Very exciting. I've only actually got one thing to mention. That was everything, wasn't it, Sam?
Yes.
Yep. I've only got one thing to mention. I don't know why. I don't know what I've been doing, but I watched Buffet Infinity, which was something that was shown at Dunded, wasn't it, Andy?
It was. I'm sad I didn't get to catch that. The drudgery of family coming to visit. I love them, but I would have liked to have also gone to Dunded.
So it's like loads and loads of low-budget TV ads, and they're all weaved together to make like some sort of weird narrative about 2 restaurants who are like in sort of are rivals in this small town of Westridge County, and throughout these advertisements, like things get more and more sinister and creepy, and it was really weird, but like it's definitely had a certain charm to it, and I liked it. There's a couple of guys in the adverts who like run a pawn shop, and every time they turned up, I was like, all right, okay, now I'm enjoying this. They were just really good. Like, it's just super unique, and yeah, I recommend it. It lacks
what was
like
that called?
Buffet Infinity.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's just loads
I
of
was
like
really
low
interested with the
budget
storytelling.
You know when, which is weird because I guess it reminds me of we've been watching Found TV where there are adverts on it. A lot of
What's
these
his
like
name again, Ben? The electrician.
Jeremy, very specific to like certain towns in the US rather than being like, you know, nationwide advertisements. And there's like a certain quality to them with like the word art that like floats in and kind of like the people who aren't actors acting, and
it's like public access television stuff, and I love it.
Yeah. So
that sounds great. It just literally just made a note about that.
Yeah, really interesting. And apart from that, I've been the reason I'm going to mention this is because Guillermo del Toro is in it. I've been playing Death Stranding 2 on the beach. Not me on the beach. That's the name of the That's the name of the game.
You'll get sand in your console.
I'll get sandal in me console cracks. Uh, and Guillermo del Toro's in it. Obviously, that's great. Nicholas Winding
Is
Refn is in it
he?
as well, who we just mentioned, director of Maniac Cop. Loads and loads. It's one of those games. Like it is absolutely mad, and it's as good as the first game. It's like picking up the first game again, but you're always looking out for those cameos where you literally do the Leonardo DiCaprio pointing to the screen meme when certain people pop up, and it is nuts. But it's like I feel like this one's a lot more Metal Gear than the last one. There's loads of proper Metal Gear stuff in it, so but
Okay.
it's a good time. I'm enjoying it so far.
Oh,
Anything from you, Andy?
you know what, Ben? You'd think, well, Andy's been on several like transatlantic flights. He's been mainlining films. Didn't watch a single one in either direction.
Oh, what? What did you do? Did you raw dog it? Raw dog the
I didn't
flight?
raw dog it. I have been reading. I mean, adjacent to the real life horrors of life. I was reading a lovely book. It's not horror stories, but I've been reading a book by comedian John Robbins called Thirst about his like struggles with alcohol and so on.
Oh, wow.
Nothing funny to say. It's really good. It's just a genuinely excellent book. Like, and a few tears. It's really funny in other parts. It's really sort of vulnerable and like really insightful. And there are little bits about it. You know, I am fortunate in my life never to have had any like problems with alcohol beyond, that day that you drank too much and felt rotten the next day. My problems with it have never gone beyond anything like that. But even then, there's some great insights in there about how he, a man who has struggled with alcohol, has had how it affects him, and actually some of the psychology behind it, and the things he's learned from tackling those problems. And there's just really, really, I cannot recommend it enough. Even on a horror podcast, I'm going to break genre
Yeah, break
to
genre.
recommend that you
Who?
read
What was
this.
his name again? Sorry,
It's really good. John Robbins,
John Robbins.
with one B.
It's
Yeah,
weird
I
that you
also like
find
his podcast, Ellis James. He doesn't need me to promote that. They're doing much better than we are.
they're
But
doing. It's weird that like a few autobiographies I've read about alcoholism, like it tends to be the comedians who really, really seem to get to the like heart of the matter. Like Limmy's autobiography has got a lot about alcoholism in it,
let
and
me get some mention in it.
yeah,
John took some advice from Lemmy. Yeah,
about alcoholism as well.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Really, really interesting. Yeah, really, really, really great read. Just a genuine, straight up recommend. I
hell
have
yeah.
been consuming some horror stuff though, Ben. Keeping it on the theme of books, you've done a little post about it. Thank you so much. As it turned out, as I was going on the run, driving in the sun, looking out for number one on the way to California, I found a local author just through a little interaction on Threads by the name of Alice Wax, who'd written a behind the scenes, episode by episode compendium of popular television series Friday the 13th, the series.
Oh
What
my
a
God.
time. It's got pictures in there. It's got literally a breakdown of every episode. It is such a tome. And she was very generous with her time and effort. I dropped her a message and said, "Hey, look, I love the look of your book. I'm gonna need to have a copy. Is there any way I can get one without that dog Jeff getting a fucking penny?" And she said, "Yeah, absolutely. If you don't mind, just send me this and I can ship it out to you." And I was going to be in the US, so could avoid those transatlantic postage fees. Posted it to my hotel, so I got to feel like a real someone as well
Oh,
by
that's
going up to
amazing.
reception and going, "Andy Conduit Turner, I believe you have a package for me." And they went, "Yes, we do, sir. Here you go." And a
Oh,
signed
amazing.
copy was waiting there. My colleagues were like, "What you got coming in?" I said, "Oh, it's
Didn't yours coming?
just a signed book from someone I know."
Amazing. Amazing.
I am I'm quite tempted, Ben. I know I sort of fell off my episode a week thing. I
Yeah.
might take that caveat off, take those training wheels off, but go back and then just marathon the series from the beginning
Yeah.
with the compendium at my side to
Oh man.
learn all the things that there are to know about the ins and outs of that wonderful, wonderful television program.
I'll do it, man. There's a podcast. Did you know there was a podcast?
Is
The
there to get on
Curious
board?
Goods The Curious Goods podcast reviewing Friday the 13th the series. It ended in 2022, but it gets all the way up to season 3 episode 15, so I'm guessing that's all of it.
That must be all of it because it does end on the third season. There's the podcast for the list as well. And if
Oh
I
my
and
God, yeah.
if I'm not fond of it, we'll be rebooting that presently on the Patreon. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, loving that. Have you ever seen the wonders of Friday the 13th, the series, Sam?
I haven't, but if I drank, I would play a game where every time it gets mentioned on an episode, I drink, and I'd be quite pissed. I think
You'd be
after
done
an
in, I'm
episode,
afraid.
Stop bloody going
but
on about.
I do need to watch it. But I'm not the biggest fan of the Friday the 13th franchise.
Literally
Don't
doesn't
worry
So
matter.
it's
about that
something I've
because it
never
bears absolutely
watched.
no resemblance.
It's literally just like, yeah, there's no Jason. Did you say Jason gets mentioned once? Or
No, the date Friday the 13th gets mentioned
yeah.
once. Jason makes no appearances.
So similar in a
Um,
way to Season of the Witch, I guess, where Michael Myers is on TV and the Halloween movie's playing. Isn't that right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Just imagine, Sam, if you will, if the X-Files was just a right laugh. That'd be what Friday the 13th is.
Stop moping about your sister, Mulder, for God's sake.
Or like instead of having like a really high-powered professional job that required qualifications and extensive training, you just run a shop.
Just run a bloody shop with every item's been
A bit
cursed by
like
summer.
Five Must Die, where you're having these inspirations. It's
Yeah.
kind of like if the X-Files plus Wizardora plus
Oh, we adore her.
we do based on her capacity to brighten up our day, absolutely.
I,
Bless
I
your heart.
love that you guys are the same age as me. This
Yeah.
is
Yeah, it's
this is
good.
just delightful
Definitely know
because
what that
my
is.
best friend is 8 years younger than me and has no idea what I'm talking about any of the time.
She wouldn't know. You can start dropping like so she's forced to Google and learn it. You could
You
say
could
you're being a real hangle about this.
you could just sing
Oh,
the
I don't remember
Wizardora
Hangle.
theme.
Who's Hangle?
He's the purple
Oh,
fella
he's
with a
the
coat hanger for a head. Proper
yes,
uptight he
yes.
is.
You could just sing the Wizardora theme, and then she'll go, "What's that?" And you go, "I wrote that. That's
I
my
could
song."
sing you that theme song right now, and isn't it weird how they're so firmly implanted in our
Yeah.
brains,
Oh yeah, I've got cousins
considering we haven't
whose
seen it for
kid's
like
name I'll never
30 odd
remember.
years.
But yeah.
There we go. That everything, Andy?
But I did a little bit of playing as well, Ben.
Oh, you did. Sorry,
Played a
cutting
couple
you
of
off.
games. I played Long Flight after I was tired of reading and didn't want to start film. Got on the old Steam Deck, didn't I? And I've been playing a couple of horror themed games. I started. You might remember this from when we watched the Terabytes documentary. Got into Faith, the sort of
Oh yeah.
C64 coded exorcist milling about in the forest. I might need to consult a guide to understand how to progress narratively, but I
Mm.
am loving searching out all the clues, and then sometimes a little pixelated monster will come towards you, and you have to compel him with the power of Christ to bugger off. Hold your little cross up.
Brandon Salisbury, who we interviewed about George A. Romero's Resident Evil documentary, is making the film of that.
I look forward to it even more
Yeah.
now. I've got it. There's some good lore there to be had, lots of things to explore. Enjoying it. I need to progress a little bit more into the
Mm.
story. And then two games, Ben, I think I sent you a voice note about them because I think you will be
Yeah.
very much into them. Number one, Vultures, Scavengers of Death, is a sort of Resident Evil coded tactical game. So, you are a special tactics squad. You're going into like a zombie infested city to, you know, on the behest of like an umbrella like corporation to find survivors and what's caused it. But all of your action is based on sort of tactical movement. So when you get into an encounter with a zombie, you've got a certain amount of action points. You can move around,
Oh,
you can
like
do specific actions. So you tactically manage all of your combat situations. Really good so far. I need some to dive into that as I get a little bit deeper into the story. And finally, another indie game which I think will be right up your street, Ben. It hits both the retro with a little bit of quality of life improvements. It's called Ground Zero. It is a sort of retro Resident Evil which shows two special forces people going into Daecheon in Korea, South Korea, good Korea, after a meteor has wiped out the population and then things have begun to mutate in the area. Survival, horror coded, sort of fixed camera angles, pre-rendered backgrounds, super like classic Resident Evil, or many of those wonderful sort of Resident Evil flavored games that you got in
Yeah,
the
it
era,
looks
like
just
Cold
like it.
Fear.
Are we saying dinosaurs
Yeah,
as well?
I haven't seen any dinosaurs yet. We're getting there, maybe.
In some of the artwork, it looks like a dinosaur like skeleton with like some muscle and bits on it. But
It's been dogs and sort of reanimated corpses I've encountered so far. The thing you'll
oh
like
yeah,
about it, Ben, is you can choose your poison. You can have tank controls if you want, or you can have lovely modern controls.
ah,
A
tank
bit like your
controls
Tomb
for a gamer
Raider
now, isn't it?
remake that you got into.
Yeah, tank controls. I had to go with them. This looks great. Both of those games look great.
Both of
I'll
them brilliant, and both indie games, so very reasonably priced. £80 for a new game. Perish the thought. You'll get change from £80 to buy both of these.
yeah,
Significant
you would.
change. Enough to buy them all again twice. I think they're
Yeah,
both about 20.
yeah. Both look awesome, man.
Good stuff. But other than that, Obsession that we already talked about, and
Mm.
then Film of the Week.
Film of the week, which is Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon, and that is a 2006 American mockumentary comedy slasher film directed by Scott Glosserman. It stars Nathan Baesel, Angela Goethals, Scott Wilson, Robert Englund. It's an homage to the slasher genre. The film follows a journalist and her crew who are documenting an aspiring serial killer who models himself according to slasher film conventions. The main reason this popped up on our radar was because the sequel, Behind the Mask 2, is currently in pre-production, and I think it's launching on Kickstarter. I think it already has launched on Kickstarter, actually, and I think they're going to
Yeah,
make it.
and it got funded within like
Got funded within,
48 hours or something.
yeah.
Wow.
I think their goal was about 15 grand, and it's currently almost 300 grand. Oh, that's insane. So yeah, I think we were trying. I don't know if we've had any movement on that. We were trying to get some of the team on for a bonus episode for an interview to chat about it. So we thought great opportunity to chat about the original as
Catalyst of
well.
this episode
A
coming out will be
catalyst.
just the thing we need to send them to say, come on, lads.
Come on then, yeah. And then Sam, you posted about it while I was thinking about this. You posted about loving the film, and I think you posted something about this
Mhm.
particular Kickstarter as well. So I thought, there we go. The guest is also locked in. Awesome stuff. Okay, so in terms of ratings and reviews, we got 6.7 out of 10 on IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes 76%, critics score 75%, audience score, Letterboxd 3.4 out of 5. Some choice reviews on Letterboxd. Kenneth Clark says this movie is so painfully unrecognized. 4 stars.
Good of him to take a break from his political career, old Kenneth Clark, to
Yes, kind of, isn't it? He's got a great Letterboxd account. Kim says, okay, yeah, fine. I'm obsessed with horror mockumentaries. 4 stars. Dorsey says, self-reflexive slasher parody and homage to the greats of the genre. A well-made mockumentary that goes all the way. Doesn't work well as a horror film, though. 2.5 stars. Well, that's quite a lot of positive things. And then Shukun says, self-reflective slasher parody and wait, that's what I just said. I've copied the same review twice. Someone else says something else and also
we
gives it
maybe
two and a
never
half
know what
stars.
Shucken has to say. Sorry,
I'm
Shucken.
sorry about that. No, I've got it. I've got it. Made with such immense love for the movies, it's skewering that if you have even an inkling of affection for slashers, you can't help but be charmed. 4 stars.
Glad you found them.
Found it. So there we go. Sam, what is your relationship with this film? Why do you love it or hate it so much? I'm assuming love.
It's actually quite a long history. I think I must have seen it back when I was about 20. So that's nearly 20 years ago now. So that would have been not long, I think, after it came out. My friend, shout out Russian, he introduced me to a lot of horror movies. And I can't remember whether it was on a tape or whether he got hold of it on like a dodgy DVD. But he was like, watch this film. This is brilliant. And I watched it and it was brilliant. And I think as I revisit it more over that time, I appreciate how clever it is and how layered it is. Like you could watch it and enjoy it as a horror film, but I think the more you know about horror, the funnier it is. the more engaging it is. So I've enjoyed it more and more every time I've watched it over that 18, 19 years.
Because we're talking about a world where Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, they all exist as, killers in the world, and Leslie is kind of just a peer of theirs, you would say, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah, or he's trying to. Well, I'd say
Yeah,
he's
he's trying to be. Yeah.
trying to be. Yeah, he's trying
He
to bring himself.
aspires to be as prolific as them.
Yeah, yeah, and we've got like a team of documentary makers, and they're kind of doing like, I guess, the Blair Witch thing, but with a slasher, with a serial killer, and I guess as time goes on, they get more and more drawn in, and then feel like they need to intervene. I guess, isn't it? Did anybody recognize the? And again, you might already know this. Did anybody recognize Angela Goethals, the like the main documentary team lady? Anyone recognize her?
Only because last night, after God knows how many times I've watched it, I was like, why do I know her face?
Yeah.
And the scream I scrum
Yeah.
when I saw who she was, and I was like, oh my fucking God.
Yeah. Do you know Andy?
Does Andy know?
No,
Andy
I
know?
don't. Tell me.
I'll let Sam tell you.
She was I wrote it down. What was her name? She was Linny in Home Alone. She's the one who goes, you're what the French call je. Oh no, I wrote it down.
Les
What the French call
incompetents.
incompetent. And
Yeah.
when you look at her face, you can see she looks exactly the same.
She looks exactly the
And
same.
I lost my tiny mind yesterday. I was so
I
excited.
didn't know this like before, but this time watching, I was like, wait a minute, is she in Home Alone? And then I had to look it up, and yes.
I would have never pulled that.
Yeah. They're all horrible
For a
to
second.
him, aren't they?
Exactly the same.
Because of all the the horror background as well, I was like, oh my God, am I gonna have to turn in the card? Is she Judy from Sleepaway Camp or something insane? But no.
She just looks the
Like,
same, doesn't she? Like she's the same, but like 10, 15, 15 years later. They're horrible to poor Kevin in that bit, aren't they? They just go like, what's that, Kevin? You want some advice, some nice advice from your family? How about you're a prick?
yeah.
Oh,
And how about your older brother has purposefully and obnoxiously eaten the only type of pizza you like and then has burped in your face? He should be on the receiving end of such a bollocking. You'd make him walk to the pizza place, that even if you lived in the most dangerous bit of Chicago, not a big bougie neighborhood, to get a new pizza. It'd have been absolutely roasted.
Yeah.
But no, they let offender coded uncle call him a little jerk and then send him away.
Look what you did, you little jerk. Andy, have you seen this film before?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you when I originally watched it. I think I missed it and its initial release. It can't have been too far off it being available on home video cassette. I watched it in the comfort of my own home and really loved the referential nature of it, because it takes sort of meta commentary and a dive into the horror franchise that we got from films like Scream, and then sees the fourth wall beyond that, and then comes smashing through it into such really, really clever, in my opinion, meta commentary that is a delightful film. What about you, Ben? When did you first see it?
It was a long time ago. So much so that like my memory of it is really kind of like all over the place. Like there are some bits in this which felt like brand new. I remember Robert Englund being in it. But for some reason, even the way, like even Leslie Vernon's personality in a way was a bit like I kind of misremembered that as well. But it is a really good like it's like satire, and I think when it actually goes fully into a slasher movie by the end, kind of like pointing fingers at all these tropes in slasher movies and stuff like that. I think it is a lot of fun to be had. And yeah, I feel like it's definitely made me go, I want to watch more like horror mockumentaries, and I kind of need to find like what is the definitive list of them as well. Yeah, but
Yeah, in defense of the one review that you read that did say it's harder to be scared by it because you're so into the minutiae and the making. It's like you've seen behind the scenes of things. So maybe to that degree, it does diminish how scary it can be in a way, because also you're so familiar with this killer character. you're kind of moving between the scenery in the background there as well. Doesn't make
Mm.
it a less effective film. I don't think I'd score it down for it, but it does sort of diminish your capacity to be scared by it potentially. You're allowed to
Yeah.
disagree if you were very scared, Ben.
I don't think I was very scared. Some comparisons here about like mockumentaries. I guess like Ghost Watch obviously fits in that. Lake Mungo, Late Night with the Devil, even though it's not a mockumentary, it's obviously like a live chat show. There's still like those mockumentary
Is
elements
AI
to
giving
it.
you this list, man?
No, no, Reddit's giving me this
This
list.
is bullshit. Yeah.
Is AI giving you this list of bloody Late Night with the Devil, and all of the visuals it used were definitely up there as the best. Something called The Medium. Oh, Noroi the Curse. I've seen that. The Medium, and I guess like even Missing Person Videotape that we saw like fairly recently has got a bit of
Yeah,
that
Haunted Lost
element to
Alive.
it. Yeah. The Medium. Do we know what that is? I'm not sure. Anybody
I
seen
know the
that?
game.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess it's one of those things. I guess even like horror comedy, I wouldn't say it's straight up horror comedy. It's kind of like just got like darkly comedic moments just because it's like a peek behind the curtain at something that's usually so serious and scary. And I don't know, I felt like I did want a little bit more. Maybe like, I love the stuff where it was like Haddonfield. People don't even go out at Halloween now because it's like tarnished the holiday for them.
Yeah, I love that. It's
Yeah.
that's kind of the opening scene, isn't it? And it's like Springwood, a
Yeah.
murderer so prolific they think even dreaming about him can make you die. And I
Yeah.
love how subtly they, for copyright reasons, never say the full name. And is it Kane Hodder that they're calling to?
Yeah, it is Kane Hodder. Yeah. He's at the door,
Kane
isn't
Hodder's
he?
just
Yeah.
trying to go about his day.
Yeah. There's probably like more like cameos that I've not even noticed. I guess Zelda Rubenstein as well, of course. Oh my God,
Absolute queen.
Yeah.
absolute queen. Um, she's great. But yeah, there are these elements, aren't there? Where it's a mockumentary, but there are elements where it kind of like steps away from that and is just like a narrative film as
Mhm.
well. Um, yeah, but obviously our main Leslie Vernon, played by Nathan Baesel or Bazel. He's not been in much, you know. I was looking at his filmography. He's been in quite a lot. He's been in a few TV shows, but not really much else.
He's
Um,
in Bloody Summer Camp 2, the Felissa Rose vehicle.
oh,
Um,
is he? Okay.
Yeah, I've only seen Bloody Summer Camp 1, but he's in the
Yeah.
sequel from this year.
But I think it did just make me kind of want more. And again, copyright reasons, you wouldn't be able to, but I'd love it if it kept sort of like mentioning lots of people and stuff like that. And it kind of made me want like a mockumentary type true crime thing. Like imagine like a Netflix style true crime thing that was about like killings that took place at Camp Crystal Lake or in Haddonfield or something. That'd be really interesting, I think.
Oh, I tell you what, Ben, I love some metafiction, and we are looking for Patreon content. Do you want to do your best Benjamin Fitton voice, and you could do like They Walk Among Us, but for actual serial killers?
I'd love to give it a try, you know. We'll save that for the Patreon now. I definitely can't do it on pod.
Yeah, and you want the safety and warm embrace of a paywall to make sure only the true believers are listening to your
Exactly.
first attempts at that.
Exactly. And I'll practice it for weeks and weeks. Robert
Sam, you're
Englund.
churning out scripts like Murder She Wrote these days. You can get on board with this with us. Do some
Absolutely. I
horror
do
true
want to do
crime.
some different kinds of writing. So
Mm,
absolutely sign me up. Because that,
Yeah,
that that would be so interesting to look at things
mm.
that'd be
from that sort of angle.
a lovely falling asleep podcast, like all true crime podcasts are. Just sort of someone with a gentle, soporific voice talking about the fine clinical details of brutal murders, and
Yeah.
then how the police ultimately solved them. One
Mm.
patient was found a head brutally smashed into a television screen. Witnesses from the other room are reported as hearing him say, "Welcome to prime time, bitch." All the time.
I thought you were talking about
Favorite line from any of those films.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, okay, so in terms of shot as a documentary set in a world where the killers depicted in famous slash films are historical figures. There's a journalist named Taylor Gentry and her two cameramen, Doug and Todd, and they're documenting Leslie Vernon as he prepares to join the ranks of other slasher villains. He claims to be a boy from a local urban legend who supposedly became possessed and killed his family before being killed by the townsfolk. But he has in fact survived the attack. And then we
Tossed him over a waterfall, didn't they?
tossed him over a bloody wall. Why'd you throw? He's definitely gonna come back from that. Come back from a waterfall. Isn't that how Sherlock Holmes went? No, is it?
That's how he was thought to have died, but then he
That's
came
right.
back.
You never die from going over a bloody waterfall. You'd be fine. Fine.
Chuck him in the metal mincer like Mike
Oh
Myers.
God, yeah, like Michael Myers. Check on it. How
Get in there.
he's definitely not coming back from this. He's been minced.
We've
Um,
turned him into an absolute smoothie.
we've turned him into a burger patty. Delicious. Um, but obviously Leslie, how would we describe his character? Normal fella.
Affable chap, isn't he?
Yeah. What would you say, Sam? Just a normal chirpy
I
man.
think he's quite cute. He's like he is. You can feel he's a bit of an edgelord. He thinks he's
Yeah.
the dog's bollocks, but he's also like quite geeky and awkward, and I find that very endearing, which is very upsetting and worrying when you go into this film knowing he's a serial killer right from the start, and you're like, oh, he's kind of cute, really. But
I could fix him.
yeah, I really like him. Yeah, I'm done trying to fix men. But I maybe I try. With
Maybe
him.
Leslie.
He's adorable.
Maybe Leslie.
Yeah.
When he's got his makeup on beneath his mask like bloody Batman, he looks lovely, doesn't he? I thought a bit
No.
of an edgelord. I thought maybe it's going to turn out he wasn't even a killer. You know, he was just somehow orchestrating these things, but he wasn't behind it. I don't know. He's got his So Robert Englund plays Doc Halloran. What does he call him? It's I've got my
An Ahab.
an
An
Ahab.
Ahab.
Okay, that's good. I like that. Doc calling him Doc Halloran is so confusing. It's way too close to Dick Halloran, isn't it? I mean, it is. It's one letter different. God.
And
that
obviously you've got Doc in The Shining anyway, so it's like the
oh my
two of
God,
them,
yeah.
Doc and Halloran. So Doc Halloran, it's genius.
Yeah, it's a great inclusion, and I think it just elevates the whole film a little bit more, doesn't it? Yeah, it's interesting, but yeah. So it is in this initial scene, he essentially shows we get like a bit to camera, which Taylor does, which again is similar to the opening to Blair Witch Project, and the sort of the slow pan into the door of Leslie's house. But basically, he walks Taylor and her crew through his plans. He refuses to truly explain his motives, but his motives are just essentially to become one of the
To become like a legend. And I love how he's referring to when Fred and Michael, legends of the game. If I'm going to be like them, and he talks about like he wants to ascend from being like a guy to being like the stuff of legend. It is very, you mentioned his Batman makeup. It is very Batman Begins coded that, a man can be killed, a symbol lives forever.
become a symbol. Yes. And he's living. So where's he living? He's living in his alleged family home. Oh no, he's living somewhere else. So he's not living in his family home because that's too obvious, isn't it? Like people come looking for him there or etc. He is just living at some shithole on
Has he
the
inherited it? He said, I inherited this, but I keep it off the books, keep it quiet. Don't want people to know that I'm staying here.
keep it off the bloody books. So he plans to orchestrate a killing spree at his alleged family home, which is the rundown farm in the woods, and he's gonna slaughter a number of teenagers before being confronted by his chosen virginal. I don't know if I've ever said that word out loud. Survival girl, a local 17-year-old high school student named Kelly Curtis. First thing I'm going to say about Kelly Curtis, how tall is she? Every time she walks into a room, I'm like, what? She's like a basketball player. She's at
For a
least
second, I thought, is that Alex Mack? But it wasn't.
she's like
That's
7
the
foot
question I
tall.
ask whenever I see any woman for the first time. Establish, is that Alex Mack? Yes, no. Then we respond accordingly
Yes
from there
or
in the
no.
flowchart.
She's not a virgin, though. She's sexually active. Oh, I know we find that out a little bit later, but that's going to throw a spanner in the works for old Leslie.
Or is it, Ben?
Or is it? Yeah, exactly. Or is it? So in addition to a strict training regime and learning theater techniques to create the proper atmosphere, He has rigged the farm to be in his favor, sealing off exits within the house, mapping the routes his victims will take, rigging the electrical system to fail, tampering with potential weapons in the barn, etc., etc. Feels like Dead by Daylight or like one of those sort of like games, doesn't it? You
Yeah,
tam
they've proper Tears of the Kingdom, you haven't they? Made all the weapons super fragile. I love it how when he's describing that, and he says, "See this? This axe is gonna break on the first swing. Head of this is gonna come off."
Oh god, devastating, isn't it? If you're
I
gonna,
love how this tackles the tropes of horror
Mm.
film as well, like all those things going. And we see this in things like, the way they engineer things in Cabin in the Woods, but it's very sort of the lo-fi version. It's just like the DIY guy who has
Yeah.
gone round and is setting this thing up to make like basically a kill box for teenagers
Mm.
and make those horror tropes a reality by ensuring that the cars are not going to work and the weapons are going to break and all that other cool stuff.
Yeah. And he obviously discusses the bizarre behavior of people in such circumstances, such as herding together without really protecting themselves, tripping on level and stable ground, and attempting to hide in obvious and dangerous locations. What are the slasher movie tropes that really get on your tits? Splitting up? That's kind
Yeah,
of a big
Sam,
one, isn't it?
what's your big bugbear of slasher movie tropes?
Don't think I have one.
Just love it.
I just
Love it
love that
all.
I can turn my brain off and just go, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really think. I mean, the the one that always gets brought up of like running upstairs, like yeah, that pisses me off a little bit. But also, these teenagers are dumb. They don't know anything, and you don't know what you do in that situation. So it's not like a deal
No.
breaker for me.
Mm.
Anything in slashes is fair game because I just have a lovely time.
Yeah. And I guess like these teenagers, they've been drinking or smoking, they're all gonna be a little bit
On the bloody
inebriated.
devil's lettuce, haven't they? They're not
On the
going to
bloody
be.
devil's lettuce.
The
They're
wacky
not going to.
backy.
Yeah, they're not going to be sweet old Mary Jane. They're not going to be doing their best work. The thing that always gets Karen when we're watching horror films is Jill. This is her proper shout at the screen moment. Is whenever the goodies get the upper hand for even a second, Karen's like, "Fucking kill him, like stomp him to custard, like stab him 100 times while he's on the floor, and then take his mask off. No one's going to convict you." You're like, "This man in a mask was trying to kill me, so I absolutely took the opportunity and murdered him to pieces." And it's the janitor.
So you stabbed him 100 times, did you? Well, do you not think that was a bit excessive? Oh God.
Yeah.
It's the janitor after all, yeah. I like that Leslie Vernon isn't that physically intimidating as well. I like that. I think I prefer my killers that way. Um, you got a big old Micah Myers and a big old Jason Voorhees. Scary, yes, but it's just something about the little diminutive, little killer that always
Looks like he's got sinewy muscles though. Like when you see like a special forces person and they're always as standard, a lot of special forces people are shorter than you might expect, but
a little jockey
they can
fella.
stand below you but look you directly in the eye because they are strong and terrifying men
Yeah, maybe that's it
and
then.
women.
Maybe he's like a little
Like,
jockeyman.
yeah, but yeah, he looks like he takes care of himself. He's been tensing like Mike Myers in the asylum for 17 years.
Exactly. During the
He does
documentary,
his cardio
he
Yeah,
does do his cardio. Yeah, he's
so he can run and make it look like he's walking.
oh
That's
yeah,
that's smart. That's why he's so like he's lithe, but he's pretty fit because he can run and make it look like you're walking.
yeah. Wait for
yeah.
them to look away for a second. Oh yeah, because there's a scene where he messes with his is it his final girl that he's messing with in this part? He
When
appears
he
to
pulls
her.
the brick out of the door.
Yeah, but he gets the documentary crew to participate in this, doesn't he? Like the
Pull
brick,
this string.
pull this string, and they'll slam the door, and then she'll see
Pull the string. Sorry.
and she'll see me standing there, and then I'll run off into behind it. What's the most iconic? It's got to be Halloween, isn't it? With the down in the garden with the
When he's
leaves.
standing at the edge of the
I
hedge.
mean, that's great as well. Yeah, standing at the edge of the hedge. What's he doing there? Just walking around in the daylight.
I've now got a new appreciation for Halloween. I'm not sure if you listened to the episode of My Partner Has No Taste with Rich and Carly pointing out how bullying in the era of Halloween is just standing around someone going, Boogeyman, Boogeyman, Boogeyman. And that's how you got bullied in the 80s. People just saying something at you repetitively.
Oh, leave me alone. Piss off. Yeah. I like the thought of Michael Myers, like when he wasn't messing with Laurie Strode, he was just walking from place to place and he would have seen loads of people. He sees that little kid, doesn't he? Little boy like runs into him when he's like outside the school.
Drops this pumpkin.
Yeah.
He
That's
never
all I-
learned to drive, so he has to walk around everywhere.
Is it he does drive? Which one does
He
he
does drive. He
drive?
robs the car
Yeah, he
to get
drives.
out.
Yeah, he
So he,
drives.
he just drives the once.
Yeah. He drives the one
Have
to
you
get...
seen? Go on.
No, you go on.
There's a short that Adam Green directed. I can't remember what it's called. It's called like Driving Lessons, maybe, where it shows Michael Myers having driving lessons. So that one time when he randomly drives, and you're like, how does he know how to drive? It's because he's had driving lessons.
Because he had
in between.
driving lessons. It might be an
It's
automatic.
hilarious. It's very good.
It might be an automatic as well. Like they're just like go-karts, aren't they? Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like the thought of him doing driver lessons for once.
I also want it to be like the doctor, to Dr. Loomis teaching him how to drive.
Come
I
on,
can't
foot
remember
on.
who it is, but it might be.
Is it? Come on now, Michael. Foot on the clutch. Come on. Careful. Careful when lifting the clutch.
Mirror, signal, and maneuver, Michael. Come on.
Mind the pedestrian.
Don't make me shoot you 7 times.
Yeah,
The devil's
that's the
eye.
thing that tips. That's what tips him over the edge. Like he doesn't check his mirrors when he's reversing around a corner, and that's the point he wrote him off as irreversibly evil.
He's evil. He's evil, this guy. He never does it.
Didn't even have a medical degree. Dr. Loomis. He was like, you've been studying this kid for nigh on 20 years. What's his problem? Funny you should say that, actually. I've exhausted actually every method of psychiatry. He's just evil.
It's just bloody evil, this guy. Evil
Yeah, second
incarnate. Does Leslie seem particularly evil, would you say?
He seems nice.
Just like a nice man. I don't know about nice. He's definitely got like a bit of a edgelord. That was a good way of describing him. He's got a bit of edgelord going on. But
I'm trying to think of the word. He's just a bit not feckless. That's not the word, but he doesn't feel very threatening. He's just a goofy little guy.
just a goofy little guy doing some murders, isn't he?
He's just into his hobbies and, doesn't hurt anybody. Apart from the people he's
He
actively
feels very
murdering.
non-threatening.
Yeah. He introduces Taylor and the crew to Eugene, who is his mentor, vaguely elaborates on the motives of killers like himself for them to be a sacrifice by acting as evil to counter and even bring out the good in the world. Oh, he's just doing some great stuff. Interesting, Eugene's just got a wife. He's just got like a pretty normal life. He gets in a hole in the ground.
I loved that bit when he's in his isolation tank. His wife's like, "Oh, he's buried out in the backyard," and he does it to like create another thing of like the tropes. Oh, we do it so we can practice slowing our heart rates down so we can appear to be dead. And then when he digs him up and he goes, "Oh, what day is it?" And he's like, "He's been in there for 3 days." It's just
Eugene's wife couldn't care less. I wouldn't mind having
she knows he's got it.
I don't mind doing that for a little bit. Actually, it might be quite terrifying, but if you perfect it, it could be quite fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Have a little
What do
sleep.
you recognize his friend Eugene from?
The Walking Dead. I recognise him.
He's in The Walking Dead. That's probably more of a horror
he's the-
thing that he's in. It's like
He's
I
the
knew I
farmer.
recognized him from something. He's in
The farmer in The Walking Dead. I can't remember what his name is. The guy
yeah,
who works
Herschel.
there. Herschel, that's it. Herschel.
Herschel. He's also in The Exorcist 3.
Oh. Old lady on the ceiling.
He's the nun. No.
He's a dad.
And of course, Judge Dredd, the Sliced Alone one. I don't know who he is in that. I just see that he's there.
Interesting. Yeah, character actor appears in quite a lot, isn't it? Scott Wilson.
Yeah, Scott Wilson.
Yeah, very nice.
He's a fun character, and we revisit them a few times in the plot as we're getting towards his killing. It's also with Eugene and his wife that they discuss. He has an Ahab when he first meets Robert Englund's character.
Yeah. what it's weird, isn't it? Like, because exploring the relationship between Eugene and his wife, like it obviously on the surface just seems like a pretty normal. Does he suggest that? Does he mention how he met her? Did I miss that? Was she like a potential victim or something? I can't remember. No,
No, I can't
Can't
recall now.
remember
They mentioned getting
either.
together.
because that would have been quite interesting, wouldn't it? So why they're kind of introducing and sort of meeting up with Eugene and his family, Eugene's wife offhandedly suggests Leslie kill the local librarian, Mrs. Collingwood, as a stinger kill in order to draw Kelly in.
Yeah,
Um,
and that's when they've got like the cutting, and it's like the great little newspaper cutting. It's like it implies that Leslie Vernon's mother was attacked by her great uncle. He's just photoshopped her to look like because
yeah,
no, it is her. I've manipulated this photo so it looks a bit like her.
yeah. So he's avenging his death is what he's trying to do. And the librarian, Mrs. Collingwood, played by Zelda Rubenstein, which is a great little cameo. And then we get the final girl, kind of what's she doing? Like doing a bit of research about Leslie, trying to
She's doing
find.
some. Yeah, he basically drops the newspaper cutting in her eye line, and then I guess at some point he's put the full article in the microfiche at the library.
He's very committed to the calls, old Leslie. Um, and yeah, so she's looking at that, and that is when Leslie attacks,
Yeah,
isn't it?
but he intends to let her go on that bit. That's just the bit to ramp up the fear. 'Cause he has this obsessive relationship with his final girl, who is destined either to die and it wasn't the right thing, or for her to confront him. Because he's going into this with the idea of possibly dying and becoming a legend, right?
Yeah, it seems that way, doesn't it?
And this is
Um,
where we first meet his Ahab,
His
Doc
Ahab,
Halloran.
Doc Halloran, who's a psychiatrist, who obviously interrupts Taylor and her crew, um, and pretty much just says, well, first of all, is it the first time he appears when he explains that Leslie's just an ordinary, mentally unstable
First
man?
time's in the library. Very
First time's in
I
the
think
library, yeah.
I feel like Robert Englund is having the time of his life in this film. I love the bit when he appears and he goes, "No more Leslie," and he like shoots at him and he runs away, and then he goes, "Come to me, child."
Oh
So
yeah. Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. I like that. It is kind of like a cross between all of the characters. Like I guess it is more like what's his name from Halloween? Have I forgotten already?
Loomis.
Loomis,
Loomis.
Dr. Loomis. It is more like Loomis, isn't he? I guess. Um,
I mean, he's even dressed like Loomis. It's such a meta moment. He's dressed like Loomis. He's got a name from The Shining.
yeah.
He is in a film that references Freddy Krueger,
Oh yeah.
whilst played by the actor who plays Freddy Krueger, and it's just so beautifully meta. And there's a couple of lines I noted from there when he's saying about like the newspaper article and the microfiche and stuff. It just made, I don't know why it made me laugh so much, but Leslie says a lot of what we use is CGI, like it's like this big technical thing. Like
Yeah.
he's had to learn how to use a computer to make a fake, and it's so funny. And like I think in the previous scene with his mentor, they're talking about industry terms, and they
Yeah.
start dropping in all these things like you said, Survivor Girl and like red herrings, and it's so funny how like clinically almost they treat everything like, oh, we just use CGI, we use these industry terms, and it's just, I find that so funny. And again, it's so meta. There's also a really funny bit in the library with Leslie, and he goes, Paradise Lost, found it. There's a copy of
So
Paradise
yes.
Lost on the bookshelf behind him, and
Yeah.
it's this really tense moment. He's being shot at and hiding from Halloran, and he's like, funny joke about book.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
For those not on the video, I must have moved dramatically because I just did like a Transformers zoom in,
I like
like
that.
I was going to see what Megatron was up to
It's
for a
very dramatic.
second there. That was mad. Um,
So this is when Doc Halloran reveals that Leslie is an ordinary mentally unstable man called Leslie Macuso, who Halloran
Mancuso.
treated in Nevada. Um, yeah, so trying to like really unpick. what makes him tick, which is it could all be false. He couldn't really be this person at all. It is a real legend though, isn't it, about Leslie Vernon being killed thrown over a waterfall? It's not like
I don't know whether it is or whether he has put that
yeah.
about.
Hmm.
I think he's
That's
just
in, and
crafted the
that's when
whole thing.
yeah,
What was that,
and
Sam?
that's when the crew have gone to sort of pick on they were trying to interview the waitress, aren't they? And he sort of confronts them before they can do that.
Hmm.
I was
Yeah.
just saying, I think he's made up all the legends, and I think that's what's really cool is that he's decided, oh, this is my backstory, this is the legend, and he's created the whole thing. And I think all of the stories, I think all of this bullshit. I think he's just made it all up because, again, because he's an edgelord, that's the narrative he wants to have for his life. That's the character, the person he wants to project to the world. And I think everything is made up. I don't think any of it is real, apart from his name and that he's mental.
It's just all come tumbling down for me. You've mentioned all these things about Leslie Vernon and Edge. Look, he's a horror writer, isn't he? So he has gone and made all this stuff up.
There we go.
I'm going to write the sickest thing that someone's ever experienced, and it's going to have so much weight to this backstory and this legend. Yet when you meet him, like big golden retriever energy, sort of like, oh, come and look at this, guys! I'm so excited. Yeah, he's a horror writer.
Absolutely.
maybe
Uh,
that's what the sequel will do,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
get more meta again. That actually he wrote the story or he directed the film,
Hmm.
yeah,
and
that'd be interesting because he's I know certainly he's reprising his role,
yeah.
right? I'm not sure what state the letterboxd is, but it would appear that Robert Englund is at least listed currently on the page as well.
Oh wow. Okay.
Ooh, I haven't looked at anything because I want to be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they're gonna
I was just
do
looking
with
at some of the
the
some of
follow-up.
the add-ons you can get from the Kickstarter. There's a Paradise Lost Funded It T-shirt you can get. A
Amazing.
retro style packaged videotape of Behind the Mask 2.
But with your video, Sam,
Oh my
I
god.
know. I purposely not looked at this because I knew that I would have. I'm just gonna
I don't
open that on my phone
I don't want to
later.
I don't want to ruin I don't want to ruin anything or tempt you too much. There's also a mask, a signed Leslie Vernon mask. Because
Oh,
like
I'm poor. I'm not gonna be able to afford that.
it's an
yeah,
interesting mask. I like the addition of the hair because I feel like I don't know. I've always enjoyed that, especially like in wrestling, when like someone like Kane, who had long hair for a long time, but in his later years, he had like hair in the mask, and I don't know. There's something about it that's really like,
when he was transitioning from wrestler to mayor of a town.
yeah, exactly. Just like the hair, like you expect his hair to be part of it, but it's part of the mask. It's a good. Um,
I do hate the mask. Hate it.
what? Because it's creepy or because it's crap?
Too like puffy faced. Too the cheeks are
Yeah,
too
you just
big.
want to pinch his little cheeks and be like, "Oh, Leslie Vernon,"
Leslie
and the eye
Vernon.
holes are too big as well. I
Yeah,
mean, that makes it look very uncanny and strange, but the eye holes are too big and his face is too
yeah.
chubby.
And his weapon of choice is what? What is that?
Big
Like a
scythe
scythe? Big scythe? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or a sickle.
Or yeah, like a little handheld scythe, which I guess is that a sickle? Yeah,
I'm not as
you're not up to
expert
I
speed
think
on
on
they're just a
farming
farming.
tools as I
handheld
would like.
scythe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do have one. I can see it right now. It's on. It needs to go up on the wall, but
oh my
I
god,
keep having trouble affixing it to the wall. I got a vintage handheld scythe that a friend sent me as a gift.
is it
Oh,
in?
It's
very
cool. It's not.
nice.
It's not like a full. It's not like a full like
No,
Grim Reaper one. I would love one of those. It's just like
yeah,
a little one. But yeah, they're cool as fuck.
amazing. Yeah, you could do a get that mask off the Kickstarter. You could pretty much there with a Leslie Vernon cosplay there.
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah.
Do it. So
Signed mask. Sigh.
I've got the Kickstarter open on my phone now. So as soon as we're done, I'm on there and I'm
Oh,
going to
I'm
be
doing
trying
this
to
after
figure
bed
out
as well.
which level.
yeah,
We'll see tomorrow
yeah.
on Instagram or something. Announcing our new executive producer.
Oh, if I could afford to do shit like that, I would back so many films as an EP. But it's always a very expensive level of
Yeah, it
perk,
is.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You and Jason Blum together doing a big Predator handshake.
Oh, don't make me spend time with Jason Blum.
If you did, you could have a word with him, say, "Look, mate, start producing quality again, please, Jason. Give it a
Well,
rest."
didn't Blumhouse buy Obsession? Was it Blumhouse that
Yeah,
put Obsession
yeah,
out?
it did. I don't know. I was a bit when it popped up at the start of Obsession. I was like, really? How have I missed that?
Mm.
I don't know. I thought
It's
it was
corporate synergy, though,
I
isn't
mean,
it,
that's
mate?
their model, isn't it? They buy a load of indie
yeah.
stuff and put it out, and
Mm,
yeah, that's the most interesting thing that
yeah.
Blumhouse has done in a long time. Sorry, Blumhouse. Sorry, Jason Blum.
Sorry, Jason Blum.
Listening, mate, do fund our true crime series. That'll be all right.
Yes, please.
Yes.
You want to
So
get a reputation for funding quality again? There's where you start.
after this, Taylor confronts Leslie about Halloran's allegation, and Leslie becomes aggressive with her. And this is where Taylor contemplates ending the documentary. But they do reconcile. Why do they reconcile? Oh, I miss. What
Because they
happens
both
there?
kind of annoyed each other. Because I love this bit. Because after they have tried to have a conversation with his chosen final girl, he's like kind of waiting at the car and he's sort of busted them. And it's like, can we just skip to the end where we pretend we've had this conversation? What do you think I'm going to say?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I specifically told you not to go. You messed this up for me. Yeah, and they sort of confront him and they go, okay, look. And I think he sort of says, right, let's accelerate things and we'll take it to them. And he takes them to the farmhouse to show them. It's kind of like a "this is my design" Hannibal bit, right, where he talks through what he's going to do.
Yeah. And it is very complicated, and I guess like there's so much room for error as well. Like it is pretty mad.
But he's got it planned out. He's like the transporter. He's like, I'm going to cut the lights. I'll have killed this couple that are having sex up here, but I'm going to put them in bed like they're sleeping because I can't afford for anyone to discover the bodies until later.
Mm. Um, so I think so. Taylor and her crew they possess enthusiasm for Leslie's creativity, but their consciences catch up with them on the night of the murders. I think yeah, because I guess originally like they're obviously fascinated by this, but then they realize, oh wait, he's actually going to kill people, and if we don't stop it or alert the authorities, then we're kind of complicit in this. I guess that's
I
what.
kind of love it how when they make that realization that he takes them to the van and says that I know what you're going to say. Oh, we have to do something. They're not very Attenborough about this, are they? They're going to need to. He doesn't interfere.
He don't interfere, does he? When the antelopes get him, then he ripped to shreds.
Yeah, when those little birds are stuck in that quicksand, Amber's
Oh
sitting on his
no!
hands.
What was it? What was that one with the lizard running away from a snake? Was that
Oh no, that was awful.
sprinting and all the
Hated
snakes
that.
were coming from different angles?
Yeah, he escapes though.
He does
He
escape.
Amber's
does.
assistance wasn't needed. He doesn't need to
Do
jump down, do a big
you
sort of
remember the
ground.
baby
Oh,
elephant one?
what was that one?
Do you remember the baby elephant where it's stuck in the mud and you
Oh my
think this
God.
baby elephant's going to die and it's the most horrific thing I've ever.
He can't get out the water.
Heartbreaking. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just stuck and he can't, and he's away from his family and there's no one to help save, and this little baby's like stuck and drowning, and it is heartbreaking. I think he was
Oh.
okay. I think he got
Yeah,
away.
he does. I
But
think he
saying
does
about
get
not
out.
intervening, I did see a video the other day where they were filming penguins, emperor penguins, and they got stuck. They'd gone into like this little ravine thing and they got stuck, and they did go and dig a channel for them all to leave.
Oh.
It was
Yeah,
like,
that's all right,
do
isn't
you
it?
remember on the end of the episodes, they show like a little clip of behind the scenes of like how they filmed
Mm.
that episode? I think it was like that little section. So they do sometimes intervene.
Yeah, maybe he's getting soft in his old age. It's probably why I'm not an award-winning wildlife photographer. That and the lack of motivation and drive to be outside that long. But I'd be straight in there going, "Sorry, David, I'm stepping in. I'm going to go and push that elephant out of this water."
Go and have a
Wouldn't
fist
last
fight
10
with a
minutes.
lion.
Have to.
Yeah. So he's putting together all the final prep for this killing spree. And this is when they basically beg Leslie to call it off. But Leslie is adamant, believing a survivor girl would define herself by facing him. And then he basically
And
says,
crushing him in a apple press. This is the piece de resistance.
yeah. He implores and invites the crew to leave, but they ultimately decide to stop Leslie. So this is where the kind of the POV shifts from being like a documentary mode to like a standard horror film in this instance, isn't it?
It's like the
So-
last 20 minutes, right?
Yeah, I mean we've had it a couple of times, I guess, throughout the film, but this is where it like fully switches and we don't go back, really, isn't it? Um,
Mhm.
So yeah, they're in this. Where are they? Just in some house.
This farmhouse. This is his family
Oh
home,
yeah, of course.
allegedly.
How did he get them there?
That drove him in the van.
Yeah, that's right. So
And the kids have gone there because they know
that's
the
what I meant.
legend
Yeah.
suggests it's home, and they go there on the anniversary of his death to
Classic.
smoke some bloody wacky backy.
Smoke some wacky backy, have some sex, and yeah, and maybe get killed. So
Three things you can do as a teenager.
yeah,
No schemes, are there? You've got to
no
you
schemes,
some of the
no.
rules to do. No youth club.
I only did one of those as a teenager, so I'm behind. And I'll leave it up to you to guess which one it is.
I'll leave answers on a postcard for which one
Turns
it
out
might
Sam's a ghost at the
be.
end of the episode. Fucking hell, didn't see that coming. She's Bruce Willis.
She was a ghost all along. So Taylor attempts to warn and rally the remaining teens to fight Leslie, attempting to use the knowledge they have against Leslie. I mean, they've got plenty of knowledge to win this.
They know
They've
his
got,
plan, step by
they,
step.
yeah. They've got obviously the two lads who are stoned and confused and not interested. Kelly, the final girl, not a virgin, upstairs, reverse cowgirl. Is that right? Have I imagined that?
She's having a lovely time.
She's having the time of her life. Ever so loud. You know what I mean? I feel like, especially in your teens, you might be a bit quieter, but no, she's going for it. She's going for it. This 7 foot
She's
tall
swinging
woman.
a t-shirt around the head like she's at a Tiny Temper concert.
She's at a Skin Dread
Tiny
concert.
Temper.
The Newport helicopter.
Newport helicopter! Yay!
Yes. Well, a Tiny Temper definitely works as well. Short temper, I call him. And she's literally going for it. Oh yeah, and then the other girl who's obviously like, no, she's not a virgin. Of course she's not. Are you serious? And then she's like, bitch. I'm like, hang on a minute. You've just been having crazy loud sex upstairs. I like how Taylor and the documentary crew pretty much just walk in and stand there while it's happening as well.
It's like, get out!
Get out! You're screaming.
And then follows them through and goes, what are you doing here?
Yeah, what are you doing here? Documentary crew coming to see you.
Is it Doug that makes himself a noble sacrifice?
Yeah. What does he do?
He runs off and he encourages the others to stay together.
No, I think
But
it's Todd. I think it's Todd who
Todd.
says,
It's
Todd's
"It's
Todd.
me. It's me, Todd. Come on."
Yeah,
He's
he's like,
almost
it's
like
me, man, it's Todd.
they've got a bit. Like we've got a connection because we've been doing this documentary, and it's just me, and he's the one who runs off. Yeah. Todd sacrifices himself by drawing Leslie away from the house. And because this was one of the few disruptions that Leslie had mentioned as being potentially ruinous to his plan, being drawn away from the house. But it doesn't, unfortunately. It still continues.
Well, because this is the point where we sort of realize that in very short order here, the plan that they have laid out in front of them and what they think will be disruptive doesn't work. Almost as if this was Leslie's plan the entire time.
Yeah.
Where do you guys stand on that? Do you think he's adapting because it's gone chaotic and he's a good murderer at this point? Or did he always intend for this film crew to be here?
I
think that was always his plan.
Yeah.
I always forget every time, and I watch the film, and I'm like, oh my god! I forget that that's what the plan is. But I think he's just so smart, and because, like we said, it's a world where those killers are real from the films. I think he's just done his research. He's got his mentor. He's got every possible avenue mapped out, and like I said, he's pretty feckless, but he also he knows his shit. Like he's spent his time working this out, and everything seems to be perfectly engineered, even though he doesn't seem like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And the same is true of his choice of final girl, because there is a connection between them. Do you think Leslie, because they have a discussion earlier where they say, like, how do you know that Kelly is a virgin? And he's like, I just bloody know. Okay.
I just got a bloody inkling. Can you tell? The way she
Yeah.
swings a t-shirt around her head, very virgin-like.
Do you think that he always intended for his actual final girl to be Taylor?
Yeah, I mean, it would make
because there's a connection between them because they know each other from the purpose of this documentary.
I think it makes sense and it makes everything a lot more interesting and maybe like actually
Yeah,
has a bit of a sinister edge to it. Also, like, would he want this documentary to get out really? Because it kind of this peek behind the curtain, it kind of undoes everything. The mystery and the true the urban the legend and the myth of the serial killer. It kind of just undoes all of that, doesn't it, really?
true.
Like
Or
if there was a
does it
Michael
bring it to
Myers,
life?
does it bring it to life? Yeah, maybe it brings it to life. I don't know. Do you think he would have wanted that documentary to get out in any sense?
Maybe if he gets it, he gets some. He just does a little bit of editing.
Does a little bit of editing, yeah,
Mhm.
so he didn't see his face. Yeah.
I did
Kelly,
note down when I, oh, go on.
when I finish, Sam, go for it.
I did note down because it's been a couple of years since I watched it, and I watched it twice now. This week for the podcast. One of the first things I wrote down was how Taylor is very stereotypically the final girl. She's blonde. She's got. I think she's got like a beigey jumper on, a little bit like Drew
Yeah,
Barrymore in Scream. Like she's very
Okay.
muted. She's very much the virginal final girl. And I remember, and I'd forgotten that twist happened at the end, and I wrote down very much a stereotypical final girl. So
Mm.
I think she's presented as that in the first place, and I think that's probably how he's probably done, like he's done with everybody else. He's probably put himself on her radar, very much like I think a good comparison here is like with Creep 2, where that girl
Mhm.
comes in to film whatever his fucking name is because it keeps changing. Um, and she knows he's a killer, but also she's like, is he though? Is he a bit useless? And I think there's a similar dynamic going on here. So it's very likely that he's managed to put himself into Taylor's orbit so that
Yeah.
when she's doing her film project, she's like, oh, this would be an interesting subject. Just the same as we find out in Creep 2 that Joseph, whatever his name is, um, has sort of been there all along, and I think is probably just part of his big plan
Mm. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Being
because
a
we
bit
know he
feck,
can do CGI.
he loves a bit of
yeah,
CGI. Being a bit
yeah.
feckless on
And
the
to be fair,
surface, and then being a bit, yeah, sinister underneath is definitely a good way for this to go.
you talked about the CGI, Ben. And I got to say, the efforts that Leslie Vernon goes into does his CGI, I would say has more heart and craft behind it than anything Stu Macker would pull out 20 years later
Oh my God, yeah.
with his Zoom background.
Look at me, bloody. I've aged myself up. No. Um, yeah, it's good. It's a really good. I like it when something meta kind of like just blurs into reality. I guess reality of the story at least. It's definitely good. Um, and she quickly it says she quickly realizes as a virgin herself, but is that like revealed at any point at all? Or does she go? She does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bloody
I've
hell.
been too busy making films to do any
Why'd you get
sex in.
involved? Why'd you get involved, Taylor? For God's sake, if you knew, you shouldn't have done it. And this is where Leslie starts picking off the group one by one, until only Taylor remains.
I
Um,
love the I love the fact he delivers on the kills like he suggests he's going to. So right, if anyone comes into the shed, they're getting this hole puncher right in the face, and then you see
mm,
him doing it to whichever one of the disposable teens wanders into the shed.
yeah. Um, and soon she faces Leslie one on one. Uh,
Yeah,
and
there's a
it's
couple of people that have made it, right? Is it Doug and Halloran
Doug.
just get sort of knocked out?
Yeah, Doug and Halloran have survived their encounters with Leslie. But yeah, so Taylor basically takes down Leslie, crushes his head in the apple press, and then burns down the shed in which he was defeated, apparently killing him. But of course, as we
And
know,
Doc Halloran comes out and goes, "He's just a man."
he's just a feller. If you crush his head in an apple press, he'll die like anybody else. And if you burn the shed
Yeah.
down, he'll be all right as well.
David Gordon Green, watching as a young man, as a young director, says, "Like this is the end of my Halloween movie in about 15 years' time."
Yeah, that's great. Let's hope the fire brigade don't turn up though, because they'll get him straight out.
Immediately.
Get
Yeah.
him straight out. Yeah. Do we think it's a satisfying ending to this film?
Very satisfying ending,
Yeah.
especially if you factor in the little bit during the credits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
So the bit.
well, it's not even post credits, it's during credits, right?
During the yeah.
Excellent musical number, obviously. Bit of talking heads.
Oh yeah, Psycho Killer, isn't it?
Oh, and
Uh,
much like Taylor, speaks a bit of French.
speaks a little bit of French. Yes, she does.
Psycho
Um,
Killer, les incompetents.
and it's security camera footage revealing Leslie's charred body sitting up on an autopsy table, still alive. Um, Interesting because I guess they haven't done anything supernatural in this film so far. They've kind of made it really look really pedestrian and sort of standard. Apart from mentioning Freddy Krueger, I guess that's the only thing that would suggest supernatural goings on in this
Jason's
world.
supernatural from about halfway
Yeah,
through.
yeah, I suppose so. I suppose Michael Myers is he's just invincible, isn't he?
It's Cult of the Thorn. He gets made brought
Oh
back by
yeah,
them, doesn't he? So they all get a bit supernatural eventually. So maybe he's got his wish, or maybe he was just really good at stopping his heart and his breathing, and
yeah.
he was just poorly from the fire
What
and
would
the
you
apple
like?
press.
What would you like from the sequel, Sam? I guess a lot of slasher movies at the moment are kind of doing a bit of a meta thing where they like as a legacy sequel, kind of referencing the original and creating a whole new thing. Do you think that's what this Behind the Mask 2 might do?
I don't know, because like I know I said earlier about him being a writer or a filmmaker would be cool for like stepping up the meta-ness, but also is so meta, how could you make it more meta?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's making any sense, but I think either it was a film that he made, he wrote and starred and directed, wrote the theme tune, sing the theme tune for the thing, and now he's looking back on that project doing a documentary himself, or
Mm. Oh yeah.
it'd be nice to have just really simple of be like, where's Leslie Vernon? Where is he now? Behind the music, instead of behind
Yeah.
the mask, behind the music,
More
and
like
finding
another
out what he's been
documentary.
doing. Yeah, what he's been doing the last 20 years, what he's doing now, whereas because obviously he's good at planning. He could have a little like Dr. Xavier School for Killers or something where he could
Oh
be the
yeah.
mentor and he could teach people all the industry terms and
Teaching a new
um
generation. Yeah.
yeah, and the way the world is changing, like the assumption that that girl was a virgin, with things like being able to literally follow them, and follow them on like TikTok and Instagram and stuff, and like is he going to use social media to inform who
Mm.
he's picking as his victims? Like I think there's a lot there that they could do a like retrospective of his last 20 odd years and see what he's done and
Yeah.
how his methods have changed as technologies
Yeah. You
improved.
could
I've not
also
really
do
thought about it.
looking at what we did with like more recent Halloween and Scream movies, look at this sort of
We don't
generational
talk of them.
moving on, right? And you have like a daughter, you could have Taylor's character moving on. She has a family now.
Mm.
And what else they're getting involved in, and very on point for how legacy horror characters have kind of evolved over the years. You could do some exploration of that, and
Mm.
whether you dispose of the wider family earlier, or whether you make it a passing of the torch or a resistance to passing of the torch with Leslie Vernon. That could be
Yeah.
interesting.
I can imagine him having a bit of a resistance to it. Maybe, as you said about him having like a Xavier School for Killers, maybe like we reference some newer slashers in films.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's like, that one's one of mine. Heart Eyes Killer, that was one of mine. Someone else, yeah. Could be interesting. Lots of interesting stuff there.
Having some commentary about Art the Clown being a bit much.
Art the Clown,
Showboating.
he's really showboating this guy. He's a bit over the top of it, yeah.
He didn't need that TV bit where he does a cereal advert. Unnecessary.
Totally unnecessary. Or maybe like you see some of these people as rivals now and he's trying to outdo them, maybe trying to outdo art in some way or yeah. Loads of stuff that they could do. Really interesting.
Yeah.
The
Interested? We'll all be straight on the Kickstarter after we finish here. They're not paying us for this advert. We've not met them yet, and
no,
they're doing fine. They don't need the help. But if you
no.
want to be like your old mates from the Horror Hangout podcast, go and check that out.
I'll put the link to it in the show notes because there's loads of interesting stuff on there as well, and interested to see. I think there's an Instagram as well, isn't there? Just behind the mask too,
Mhm.
or no, Leslie Vernon Returns, I think it's called actually. The Instagram, so go and follow that to keep up to speed with everything that's happening there. Okay, so
We're here
behind the
today with
mask,
future executive producer Sam Munster.
exactly.
Yes. Oh, can you
Yes,
imagine? So good.
lucky owner of a signed mask.
Yay!
Okay,
Sam's going to start a Kickstarter so she can get funded.
yeah, that sounds
I
fun.
think that's a
Back
bloody
this.
great idea.
That's a fantastic idea. Let's rate the film Behind the Mask, Rise of Leslie Vernon. Rate it from A to F. Pluses and minuses allowed. Rate good or rate bad? How would you like to rate Behind the Mask, Sam?
I think is a solid A minus B plus.
Okay, I like it.
I think it'd be like 4 stars if we're going traditional out of 5.
Yeah.
It's so clever. It has aged beautifully. It could quite easily be really, really dated, but I think it still works now. And it's just underrated, and like seeing the Kickstarter doing so well is really heartening because it's one of those films that I always ask people, have they seen? No one's seen it. It's really hard to find. You've got to find really old DVDs or you've got to import DVDs. So people don't know about it. But to see that Kickstarter doing so well, I'm like, yay, there's loads of people out there who appreciate this film. So yay. Sorry, that was a long answer.
No.
A minus.
Long answer's good.
It's a good
I
answer.
prefer a long answer to a short answer, you know? And maybe, the success of the Kickstarter means we get like a physical release, maybe, of
Give me
the
a
original.
double pack, Ben. Where's that on the tier list? Come
Bloody
on.
double pack. That'd be delightful, wouldn't it? Andy, how would you rate this one?
I really enjoyed this. I'm going to go for a B, I think. In the world of not quality, but in the world of horror films that I can recommend, I do want to recognize that the behind the scenes nature maybe does diminish the scares. So if what you want to do is go in and be well scared by a horrible movie, then that's not what you're going to get here. What you are going to get is a really loving reflection of the genre, like an incredible sort of pastiche and examination of all of the genre's greatest and worst tropes and coincidences that happen through there, and just some really likable and memorable characters with a really nice format. I love a mockumentary, and this is just a very nice comedic, enjoyable comedy slasher.
Just a bloody
Great
nice
stuff.
time.
A B from me.
A
How
B
about
from you.
Ben?
I'm gonna go for a B minus, despite the fact that I think that's still quite positive for this film.
B minus Ben.
A B minus Ben. That's what they call me. Yeah, like all the stuff I remembered is still there. You're right, Sam. It has aged really well. I like all the meta stuff. Am I as convinced when that switch does happen? I don't know if I am. But all the mockumentary stuff I think is really solid. I think I kind of just wanted more from certain things. Like I know referencing all the other slasher villains is probably a bit much, but I feel like I wanted more of that. But still, it's a good time, and I feel like in a world where horror mockumentaries are quite, there don't seem to be many out there. That was quite a small list when I read out some of them. I think it's
Some of them didn't even count.
some of them didn't even count. I'd say half of them didn't even count. This might be the only one.
I'll give you Lake Mungo.
Yeah, but I think this is the only one that goes for the mockumentary, like the actual
Yeah.
comedic thing, isn't it? It's the
Versus
only-
faux documentary, which is
Versus
like
faux
this is
documentary,
something
yeah.
I keep getting really annoyed about because I'm like, mockumentary is a funny fake
Yeah.
documentary, and then you've got faux documentary like Mungo. Not one part of that film is funny. It is harrowing. So
definitely
calling it a
not.
mockumentary is rude. It's a faux documentary.
Don't take the
this
piss.
this is a clear mockumentary, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There we go. Brilliant. That is Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. Glad to have covered this film. Long overdue, of course. We will attempt to get some of the team behind the Mask 2 on the show very soon, so look out for that. In the meantime, Sam, where can our listeners keep up to speed with you and everything you're working on, all your new projects, and horror hyperfixations as well, of course, with its lovely new artwork. Oh my God.
Isn't it beautiful?
You got stickers, right?
Very
Shout
good.
out. Yes, when I see you, I will bring stickers.
Yes, please.
I fucking love a sticker. That's the first thing I did when I had the artwork through was like, I'm having stickers. Before we do the plug-in bit, just because I have to, otherwise I will never sleep ever again. The one thing in this film that really, really, really annoys me is the bit when he's talking about his pets and he says, I only keep pets I can eat. And he says it's a turtle, and it's not a turtle, it's fucking tortoise. And this is one of the things in my life, because autism,
Oh no.
that really gets me is when people call tortoises turtles and vice versa.
Annoying, yeah.
Same with apes and monkeys. That drives me fucking mad. So you guys have done this. Talking about primate and stuff, and I'm like, there's a fucking ape. I get so mad about it. I had animal special interest as a child, so it's one of those things that still at 39 I'm absolutely fucking fuming about. And
plug for a podcast
tortoises.
for you, Sam. You want to get yourself listening to Matt Stewart's Primates, where they discuss monkeys and apes in popular culture, from, to borrow his tagline, from chimpanzee right through to chimpanzee. He's Australian, so he said Zeds, so he says Zeds properly.
Someone likes The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Worth a listen.
Worth
a listen. A great comedian covering some of the greats.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah, I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Tortoises. They're my favorite.
I'm gonna chin you, Ben.
Just coming to your town as well.
I know.
Ben. You can physically get you.
I'm gonna come to your house, so I'm gonna.
I told you I'm not gonna be in.
Gonna have words. You might have been, definitely not now.
No, exactly. I'm too scared.
We're returning to liminal space next week, right, Ben?
Yeah. Next week, Backrooms with special guest Lucy Buglas. Yeah, Sam, where can we find you online?
You can find me at sam.munster on Instagram, also Horror Hyperfixations on Instagram and TikTok. And because I've got fancy new artwork, I've got ideas above my station now. Also horrorhyperfixations.com, where I am trying to get a little bit better at sharing my reviews and podcast guest things on as a little repository. But I've got some projects in the pipeline that I think about but don't put into action because ADHD. But they will also be there too. But I'll be hitting you guys up for those projects. So watch this space.
Oh my God, please do.
Happy to help anytime we can.
Yeah. All the links to that, to all of those things are in the show notes, of course. But thank you very much for joining us, Sam. Thanks everybody for listening. If you enjoyed the show, become a patron at patreon.com, where you can get access to early access and ad-free episodes, which is amazing.
And
thanks
True
to
Crime
Taj
coming soon.
very soon. Thanks to Taj Easton for our theme music. Thanks to Acast and Rusty Core for hosting the show. Please give us a rating or review. We are on Instagram, Threads, Facebook, TikTok, on YouTube, or go to horrorhangout.co.uk for everything in one place. And keep an eye out on our social feeds where we will be revealing the June lineup for episodes very soon. Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you, everybody.
In the meantime, everybody, if Paradise is Lost, I wish I had a copy of it behind me now. That would be much better. I don't.
That would be good.
Still lost currently.
Found it.
Yes. Right. See you later, everybody. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.